Across the globe, from shore to shore, migration's tales will explore and more. From distant lands they come to roam, seeking refuge close to home. With open minds and hearts we'll share stories of courage, stories of care. Together we'll go, together we'll grow on this journey of migration's flow.
Welcome to the Cross-Continental News Network, where every voice finds a home. Join us as we navigate the landscapes of migration, celebrating diversity and inclusion.
From the #1 news station in the country,
Credible news came fresh from the pantry.
Cross-Continental News Network,
Your lifetime ally.
Good afternoon, Philippines, and welcome to 6th. We will bring you the stories that matter from every corner of the world. I am Irene Flores. It is the 6th of May, 12 p.m. in the afternoon.
And I'm Janna Vizcarra. For the next half an hour, we embark on a journey to explore one of the defining issues of our time, global migration. But for now, let's hear our headlines for today's episode.
Definition: history of global migration.
Types and classification of migration.
Causes, benefits, impacts of global migration.
Volume of contemporary migration.
So sit back, relax, and join us as we delve into the complexities of this global phenomenon.
And to give us a quick update about migration in the Philippines, let's hear it from Ms. Olfato.
According to the 2016 Philippine Statistics Authority, 85% of the Filipino overseas workers prefer to work in their neighboring countries in Asia, more specifically in Saudi Arabia. That ranks first with the 23.8%, that is approximately 524,000 Filipino workers in total. In wonder of why, our team has this quick survey in the public to ask several questions about our modern heroes.
Better wages and benefits.
Cultural similarities and the presence of Filipino communities.
Migrants can fill gaps in the labor market, particularly in sectors facing shortages of skilled workers.
Migrants often send money back to their home countries, known as remittances.
Yes, with no hesitation. Babu, Philippines.
No, because family is love.
To give the latest update from Philippine Statistics Authority, with the pandemic year of 2020, the percentage of Filipino overseas workers preferred to work in their neighboring countries in Asia lowered by 83.6%, still with Saudi Arabia that has the highest percentage of 26.6%. These statistics just demonstrated the will of our fellow Filipino workers to provide for their families. OFW that once tagged as the modern heroes by the late former President Cory Aquino has individual stories to tell. But how does migration really started? Here's Ms. Vizcarra to give us a brief history of global migration. Back to the studio.
In the course of human history, there have been numerous variables that have caused global migration, including political turmoil, modifications to the environment, and financial prospects. Over tens of thousands of years, Homo sapiens gradually spread out from Africa to populate other continents during a period of global migration, driven by various factors such as a better life, volatility in politics, and environmental shifts. The earliest migrations were probably motivated by the hunt of nourishment and favorable climates.
Welcome mga kabayan! It's me, Ray, ang pambansang Ray ng Pilipinas! Welcome to my vlog, Philippine Showcase! Get ready to discover the pearl of the Orient Seas, where beauty, culture, and adventure await at every turn. Whether you're craving adventure, relaxation, or cultural immersion, the Philippines has it all. So why wait? Start planning your unforgettable journey to the Isla Pantropico today.
Welcome back to CCNN, your lifetime island. Regarding the categories and kinds of migration, let us first define what is meant by global migration. The term global migration describes the widespread movement of individuals beyond national boundaries. Classification and kinds are the next topics.
First, let's talk about internal migration and how it varies from international migration. International migration is the movement of people over international borders, whereas internal migration is the movement of people within a nation, such as from rural to urban areas. Next, we have political and economic migration. Political migration is prompted by political instability, persecution, or human rights abuses. But economic migration is mainly driven by economic incentives like employment possibilities or higher living standards. The final three types of migration are seasonal, urbanization, and refugee. Seasonal migration is characterized by mobility for a set length of time and is frequently caused by labor or agricultural demands. However, due to reasons like industrialization and job opportunities, people are moving from rural to urban regions, a phenomenon known as urbanization. And refugee migration, where people are compelled to leave their native nations because of violence, conflict, or persecution. They go to other nations to apply for refuge. Let's hear from Ms. Vizcarra about the causes, advantages, and effects of international migration on our nation.
Joining us today is Ms. Pangilinan, immigration specialist. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me. Let's also welcome Ms. Sevilla, an overseas Filipino worker for over 10 years in the United Kingdom, who's joining us via Zoom.
Good morning, everyone. From the United Kingdom, I'm Cecilia Sevilla. Thank you for having me.
Now let's get to the point, Ms. Pangilinan. What are the causes of global migration in the Philippines?
Several primary reasons include economic factors such as the scarcity of employment possibilities and low pay in the Philippines, which drive people to look for better opportunities outside. In addition, a lot of Filipinos travel in order to reconcile with family members who have already emigrated overseas. Strong motivators for migrating include financial support for relatives and family relationships. Then, there are options for education and employment. As in common knowledge, some Filipinos relocate in search of better educational prospects abroad or specialist training that isn't offered in the country. In addition, political and social factors may also play a role. For example, political unrest, corruption, and problems with administration may prompt some people to look for work or safety overseas. Migration may also be prompted by social issues including poverty, inequality, and a lack of access to essential services.
There's a lot of factors as we can see. How about let's hear directly from who's working abroad? Ms. Sevilla?
When I successfully immigrated to the United Kingdom in 2014, my aunt inspired me to look for career prospects here. I also received better wage offers and benefits, which encouraged me to keep working and apply for a permanent visa. Thus, the goal is to pursue both job prospects and family reconciliation.
How long does your auntie live in the UK by now?
20 years approximately.
So, Ms. Sevilla, can you elaborate more about the benefits you're experiencing?
Right now, I can frequently send remittances to my family there in the Philippines. Additionally, as a result of global movement, I have acquired a variety of experiences, knowledge, bases, and skill sets that have me there in the Philippines. Additionally, As a result of global movement, I have acquired a variety of experiences, knowledge, bases, and skill sets that have improved the labor force and encouraged creativity and innovation in the destination nations.
What about the impacts of global migration? Personally in Sevilla, how does it affect you and your family?
Language obstacles, cultural disparities, and challenges getting access to healthcare. Work and education are often, if not always, the main causes of concern. Marginalization and social isolations may result from a lack of integration.
Cheating efforts.
Go ahead.
A few drawbacks include labor market competition, pressure on social welfare programs, and security concerns. In destination nations, large-scale migration can put a strain on infrastructure, housing, healthcare, and social welfare systems, particularly if proper support system and integration policies are lacked. Along with border control, terrorism, human trafficking, and organized crime, migration can also give rise to security challenges.
That wrapped up this discussion about the causes, benefits, and impacts of global migration. Thank you so much, Ms. Pangilinan and Ms. Sevilla, for this insightful conversation. CCMN will be right back after a few commercials.
What are you having for lunch? Is it or
No, just a sandwich. I was really tempted to buy, but it's a boycotted brand, and I don't really want to be cancelled on social media.
I see. I hope the war is over so that we can eat all we want.
Girl, same.
Standing for Palestine means standing for justice, dignity, and human rights. It means recognizing the struggles of generations, past and present, and committing to a future of peace and prosperity for all. But the challenges facing Palestine are real, from the ongoing occupation and blockade to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and beyond. Palestinians continue to face immense obstacles on their journey toward freedom and self-determination. Join us in standing for Palestine, whether it's through raising awareness, supporting humanitarian aid efforts, or advocating for policy change. Your voice and your action can make a difference. Together, let's stand with Palestine. Palestine, where resilience meets determination. Stand with us. Stand for justice. Stand for Palestine.
Welcome again to CCMN, your lifetime app. Before we wrap up, let's know about the volume of contemporary migration. Let's hear it from Ms. Santos. Ms. Santos?
As per the last update in January 2022, the United Nations collects and publishes various statistics about global migration through its agencies, including the International Organization for Migration and the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. Here are some key statistics related to global migration. The Philippine Statistics Authority reports that in 2019, there were more than 2.2 million overseas Filipino workers deployed. From 2006 to 2019, at least 1 million overseas Filipino workers were either redeployed or newly deployed a year. From 2016 to 2019, this climbed to an average of 1.9 million. The COVID-19 pandemic represented a dramatic shift. Remittances from overseas Filipino workers exceeded $30 billion in 2020, according to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, helping to increase household income fight poverty, and to spur economic expansion. That brings up today on global migration figures. Let's head back to the studio.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with more great content. Again, this is Miss Janna Vizcarra.
And this is Miss Irene Flores. Until next time, on the station in the country.
Credible news team fresh from the pantry. Cross-Continental News Network. Your lifetime ally.
Across the globe, from shore to shore, migration's tales will explore and more. From distant lands they come to roam, seeking refuge close to home. With open minds and hearts we'll share stories of courage, stories of care. Together we'll go, together we'll grow on this journey of migration's flow.